Capital One is one of the new players in the lounge game. They have recently opened up their lounge at JFK in Terminal 4, and we're here to give you a tour of their newest lounge. Hello from JFK. We are at the end of our Whirlwind Summer Tour, and we stopped by Terminal 4 to check out Capital One's newest lounge. In this video, we're going to take a look at the food, the drinks, the amenities, and something that makes this Capital One lounge different from all the others. The Capital One Lounge in JFK's Terminal 4 officially opened on June 19, 2025.
Welcome to Capital One Lounge. My name is Tino. My colleague Dave at the door, his name is Sarah. We are here to assist you guys if you have a Capital One card or not. We are here to give you guys great service. Please check in with us. Okay?
It is the largest lounge in their network, and while most lounges shut down overnight, Capital One plans to be open 24/7 in the next coming weeks. Will it have full service? Not exactly, but the central atrium will stay open every hour, and they'll even be serving midnight snacks as part of their daily rituals. But a little more on that later. One of the reasons the Capital One Lounge decided to operate 24/7 is to facilitate international travelers on late night arrivals. Some airlines like Singapore have flights that arrive at 2 a.m. This lounge is 13,500 square feet and is much larger than DFW Denver and the Las Vegas lounge. Now let's talk about one of the lounge's signature features, the food. And we already know Capital One is not offering us some sad buffet line with lukewarm pasta. Capital One is known for serving seasonal small plates. At JFK, they've taken it a step further. And yes, there is a beautiful grab and go section with lots of options, but here's the twist. They've added something new to the experience. Made to order hot dishes that are cooked individually and delivered right to your seat. All you need to do is scan the QR code at your table, browse the menu, select your items, and within minutes, it's brought right to you. I ordered their short rib over polenta, and honestly, it was just okay. To tell you the truth, I didn't love the food at this Capital One lounge. I've been to the Denver lounge and the one at DFW, and their food is exceptional. The food at the JFK lounge, honestly, is just okay. This is pretty surprising since this is supposed to be their flagship lounge. Now, even though this lounge is brand new, I was surprised to see that one of the beverage machines was already out of order. It wasn't a deal breaker by any means. There were still other drink options available, but when you're positioning yourself as a premium experience, every small hiccup tends to stand out. One of the best things about the lounge, honestly, it's where it's located. It sits right in the heart of Terminal 4, and here's the real win. About 50% of the lounge has runway views, and not just a peek through the window. I'm talking wide, open views of planes taking off and landing. The natural light is pouring in, a total game changer. It creates a kind of indoor-outdoor energy where you're comfortably inside but still connected to all the action on the tarmac. Whether you're here for a layover or catching a red eye, those small details really make the difference. But what really caught my eye was the tree in the middle of the dining area. It created a little centerpiece, almost like an indoor courtyard. Now, if you've ever been to the Amex Lounge in Atlanta, you might know that this looks very familiar. Now, I'm not sure if this is a subtle nod or a direct copy, but either way, it does add a nice touch of greenery and calmness to the space. It's these design details that help break up the airport chaos and make you feel like you're somewhere intentional and not just passing through. Now let's head over to another highlight of the lounge, the bar. It's big, beautiful, and designed to impress. Capital One really makes this a focal point of the lounge, and it gives the space a high-end polished feel. What really stood out to me were the bartenders. The bartenders were friendly and well-informed. They were helpful in choosing the right cocktail or the right wine based on its origin. The cocktail list was surprisingly extensive, a thoughtful mix of classic and signature creations with plenty of options to be made in the non-alcoholic version. I told the bartender that I liked my drink sweet but with a sour twist, and he recommended the Coffee Park Swizzle. This had a mix of lime and ginger, and as an island girl, I was completely sold.
Nice looking drink too, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now, unfortunately, this drink was way too sweet. And trust me, I've never made a cocktail that I thought was too sweet, but this one definitely missed the mark. So I decided to give it another shot and try a second drink. But that's when I realized something was different. The second cocktail was pre-made, served straight from one of the craft cocktail machines on the counter. And once I noticed that, I started seeing that a lot of the drinks, maybe more than expected, were coming from those machines. And really, you could tell that second drink didn't have that freshly mixed flavor. It really tasted like it was pre-batched, and it was kind of disappointing, especially that the lounge is putting so much effort into design and presentation. Here is something that is unique about the JFK Lounge. They have something called a roaming drink cart. This is part of their daily ritual routine. They serve morning coffee. They offer Italian-style coffee with ice options and non-dairy alternatives. Around sunset, the cart roams around offering champagne to the guests. For those traveling late at night, a roaming cart will deliver a warm, comforting food bite starting around 12:30 a.m. One of the unsung heroes of any airport lounge is the bathroom. This bathroom is new, modern, clean, and on brand with all the other Capital One lounges. As you can see, they are still going through a few growing pains. There's a light fixture here missing on the wall, but I guarantee in the next couple of weeks, all these little hiccups at this Capital One lounge will be fixed. One feature that I really appreciate, especially as a parent, is a dedicated parents' room. It's private, it's quiet, and it's well equipped with things like a bottle warmer, a change-in table, a sink, and comfy seating. If you're traveling with little ones, this is a space to help you regroup, feed, change a diaper, get a little peace and quiet. It is a total lifesaver. It's a small detail, but it shows that Capital One is thinking beyond the business traveler, and it's really designing its lounges with all kinds of travelers in mind. Now, what's surprising about this lounge is it doesn't have a wellness or a relaxation space. Instead, we were given a tour by one of the lounge managers, Sergio, on what is known as the private room.
This is beautiful.
Right. So yeah, you can book it out for 45 minutes. Take a little naps.
Oh.
The private rooms are quiet, cozy spaces tucked away from the main lounge where you could just sit and unwind. Whether you need to take a quick nap or a private call, this is the only space in the lounge to do it, as there are no private phone booths or relaxation areas. Then there are the private shower stalls. These are definitely going to come in handy if you're on that 2 a.m. Singapore flight. One of the most iconic features of any Capital One lounge, and something they were true pioneers of, the grab and go section. But they have themed the New York lounge to have a bodega-style grab and go section. Something fresh, something fast, and something really good that you could take with you on your flight. Now, because we're in New York, this grab and go section is highly focused on the New York bagel. Now here's what really sets this lounge apart from every other lounge in JFK, the Cheesemonger Experience. Capital One has teamed up with Maury's Cheese, a legendary cheese shop in Manhattan, to create a super curated tasting experience right here in the lounge. You can sign up for a 45-minute tasting session where a trained cheesemonger will walk you through everything on the board, what you'll be eating, where it's from, and even how it's aged. One of the cheeses I had was called a Stocking Hall Cheddar. It is aged for a full year in the Murray's Cave in New York. The lounge will be rotating different seasonal picks, like a truffle-infused pecorino that was rich, creamy, and absolutely delicious.
So I chose 3 different cheeses. We got Harvest Moon, blue cheese, stuck in a hole, and for each serve we got the leaves, we got some jams, apricots, and membrillo, and a cracker. Would you like crackers as well? More crackers?
I'll take a cracker.
And the pairings? They don't play. You're gonna get things like creamed honey, fruit preserves, and artisanal charcuterie. Did I say that right? Artisanal charcuterie. And it's all served on a handcrafted ceramic plate made by Franco, another NYC-based brand, and it's elegant, but it still feels relaxed. This is not your average cheese plate. It's thoughtful, interactive, and it really brings the New York personality inside the lounge.
This lounge is on track to be one of the best lounges in JFK, hands down. The fact that it's going to be open 24 hours makes it a game changer for both red-eye and early bird travelers. The customer service, as always with Capital One lounges, is top-notch. This is consistent across all their locations. The staff at JFK truly goes above and beyond. Big shout out to Sergio, who gave me a personal tour and made us feel welcome. If you visit, seriously, ask for him and tell him I sent you. And definitely, the cocktail menu is impressive, but I'd like to see more handcrafted option, not just drinks from a dispenser. But all in, this lounge is going to be one of the best at JFK. It's a beautiful space with thoughtful design, and the Cheesemonger Experience along with the Bagel Bodega is going to make this a top lounge. If you're the holder of a Venture X or a Venture X business, you have unlimited access plus 2 guests. But remember, effective February 1st, 2026, complimentary guest access and access for authorized users will change. Authorized users will need to pay $125 a year, and guest access will now require $45 per adult guest, $25 per child, or a $75,000 spend in a calendar year. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share with your travel buddies. Drop a comment if you've been there or if you plan to visit the lounge soon. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.